Alright class, settle down, class is in session. Everyone get to your seats. Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel, welcome to Don't Starve and our guide series. So we're going to actually be doing two parallel guide series. I'm going to be doing a guide talking about how to start in autumn, and I'm going to be doing a guide about how to start in spring. And basically what we're going to do is go through them, and as far as we can, once they sort of start merging into the same thing, like the content in one is the same as the content in the other, or very similar to, we're going to just sort of abandon one and talk about the other, because at that point, I mean, really, things are pretty much set in stone as being similar. But we're going to start in autumn. There are a few changes, but this is the more familiar one that you guys should all be a little bit more comfortable with, since a lot of what we're going to be treading here is going to be very similar to what we talked about in our first guide series. So autumn is basically the default season in vanilla Don't Starve. So it's the non-Reign of Giants Don't Starve. Basically you start in autumn and there's winter. So basically this gives us a chance to do things a little bit more familiar and a little bit less sort of shocking to our systems here. So one of the things that's changed here, we want to keep in mind where these birch nut trees are. They're both a blessing and a curse, because they are quite a lot harder to defeat if they turn into like the evil trees compared to the regular tree guard. I much prefer fighting a tree guard as opposed to these assholes, but at the same time they are a source of both food and fuel, so they can be a very useful thing to keep in mind. So keep a note of where they are, and if you find that you need to have some sort of long enduring food source or whatever, and you also have to be hurrying to get wood and chop down wood, remember where those birch trees are. So keep that on your map and keep that in the back of your mind. And the reason that is, sometimes you'll have those days where you just don't have enough time to forage for food. You don't have enough food. So you need both that, and you need to get wood though for your fire. That makes it a lot faster and it's a lot more efficient. So again, this is a game about resource management in a large sense. So managing your time, managing your resources becomes very important for you, and they're just a good way to sort of skip a lot of the sort of problems that you have when you've got multiple tasks that need to be done in a short period of time. Of course, that's sort of almost an emergency thing. A lot of the time you should have plenty of food, you should have plenty of fuel, so just to keep it in the back of your mind where they are. Now, the other reason you want to keep a note of where those birch trees are is because that's where you'll find Glommer. Glommer is that sort of like weird little thing that drops slime everywhere. Now, he drops the old bell ingredients, and his statue also drops the old bell prototype blueprints, whatever. Both of these are really quite important for you, I think, anyway. And it also gives you a free pan flute, which is also really great, but this is a really weird squiggle of land here. I'm betting it terminates. Yeah. Okay, so just had to know that. So it's important to look for that, and try and get it before you finish the complete season, because those are really good tools for if you encounter a giant. They're one of the easier ways to defeat one, and it's probably also the fastest way to defeat one instead of trying to do anything too fancy or anything like that. It's just ring the bell on them. Sometimes, quite often, they just wake up, but whatever. Okay, bees down here. More birch. This isn't actually the birch biome, though, because the specific biome for these guys is really squiggly ground. I'll try and go insane and go on it because it looks really awesome, but besides that, we're going to do things that are very familiar to us right now, and that includes following these sort of pathways and roads. This is a very fragmented map. It's very interesting. Alright, more bees. Huh, this is a very unique map. I wonder if they changed the algorithm for how they did it, but I played another one fairly recently. It wasn't quite like this. Who knows, but this is very different. Alright. And again, during these early days, you don't need to hunt anything, you don't need to do anything spectacular to get food. Just keep on going with what you're doing, and you should be fine. Nope. Appears. Look at how disappointed that mole man is. Well, not mole man, just a mole, but same thing. Let's see here. Okay, and again, we're going to be using torches to explore at night rather than stopping to set up a camp. And we should be able to figure out a lot of what's going on the map, as long as we're paying careful attention to what's going on around us. Let's go ahead and get that light source just so that I have it. Okay. 2 torches for one night when it's dry, which it usually is in autumn, so we should be okay. And how are we doing for flowers here? We don't need as many flowers in autumn, and there are sort of 2 reasons we don't need them as much. 1, they aren't going to grow back as quickly, and for 2, they don't really provide us with as much benefit since we don't need to make a pretty parasol. We just need to get a flower hat thingy, and the flower hat is basically all we're going to need for sanity recovery for quite some time. We do drop in sanity quite a bit faster in this playthrough than the other one I was doing because Wendy, her big advantage, unlike the ghost, is really her sanity resistance. It just is tremendously good. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to continue on picking berries, plucking berries, because we're going to be out of the ability to do that in just a minute here. Oh, look at those gobblers. Okay, so I'm going to stick to following the coast, I think, in this sort of one, because there seem to be a lot of very narrow shoots to the side here, and I might miss those if I don't do this, and who knows what might be in one of them. So this sort of will guarantee me the ability to get all of the little nooks and crannies in the map here. Oh, there's a hound biome, or desert. Okay, so we don't want to be going in there. There's just not really all that much in there that's useful to us. We could look for hound's teeth, I guess, but we don't really need them right now. Okay. There we go. And how are we doing here? There's the road back up there, but I kind of want to figure out where the entrance to that desert area is, because I do want to be able to keep that on my map. It'll save time later, so I don't end up going into the desert. And am I missing anything important? No. Just tap on your map occasionally to see if you're missing anything important. Very few things are actually, strictly speaking, important during the night itself, so don't worry too much about what you're doing. Okay. And loop back around down this way, I guess. And this should lead us to that desert. And again, we're looking for sort of gold for a resource. We're looking for rocks somewhere as a resource. We're looking for the beefalo. And all those sorts of things are going to be crucial for our survival. Pig King is sort of a secondary thing. We don't need him as much anymore. Ah, crap. Right, well, apparently this is like right beside the edge of the hound desert biome, so it's going to be a very unpleasant to actually stay if we decide to go near there, but there is some gold here. And then there's a bit of swamp here too. Huh. This is just all the crappy stuff going on here. Okay, we need to figure out what's past the swamp though, so we're gonna venture forth through it. Now we got a little bit of a time saver here. There we go. Very strange swamp, that one. Alright. No clockwork guys. We also do want to find clockwork guys, but it's a little bit less important in autumn. Since we are starting autumn, we're not going to worry about the fact that we aren't going to find it there. I'm just going to loop this road. That's all I really want to do. I don't necessarily want to fully map this area everywhere, but I just sort of want to get as good an idea as I possibly can without having to waste too much time in places that I don't think are going to be productive. I do want to see if there's another biome past this swamp though, so which is why I'm using the road. If there is another one past it, typically the road will find it, so this is a quick and easy way to see if there's anything on the other side of a swamp. It looks like there might be, if there's trees growing in here. Yeah, there was. Okay, good. So what sometimes happens is that you'll sort of see the swamp, skip it, and miss something important, like there's a cave up here. That is potentially a good resource for us to pay attention to. I'm just going to pick up a couple rocks here while we're at it, since why the hell not. And this swamp doesn't have a road, but we've seen that they definitely have got things past these swamps here. So not this one though. This looks like the end of the map, end of the line sort of thing. Okay. So now we know, and knowing is pretty much the entire battle as far as the scouting phase is concerned. This is actually, it goes really far down now. Okay, no, I think this is the limit of the swamps in this area, so we're going to head on back and get back to more civilized lands, more dry land, I guess. And we'll... oops. Oh well. I did pick up enough grass that I've got a second stack, which is a little bit awkward, but that's okay. We'll turn it into a torch pretty quickly. Day 2. Days in autumn much longer than they are in spring, which means your sanity's going to go down slower. Oh crap, it's raining. Does happen, but it's a lot more rare in autumn than it is in spring, and it is a lot more vicious in spring than it is in autumn, so we're still going to go ahead and make ourselves a hat. Will help a little bit. This is a much bigger rainstorm than I've really seen in very many autumns this early on, but it happens. Okay. Now what the hell's this? Oh no, it's just a little connector here. Okay, so we're going to check to see if there's anything north of the Maxwell biome. Not much it looks like, but this is sort of the way we're going. Let's just check our map to see which way. So we've mapped off, as you can see, sort of everywhere around here, a little bit at least. We could go back here later and check out what's north of the mine, or the cave, I guess, but for now we're pretty sure that that's sort of the gist of what's going on there, and that we don't have to worry too much about what we're missing there. It's very unlikely, for example, that that's where the beefalo herds are. So even if they are, that's such an awkward place that I probably would try and avoid using them all that much. Like here, this place is much more likely to have a beefalo herd. And we might actually be able to follow that road and find like the pig village or something. Okay. Nope, no beefalo here. Alright. Okay, so this ice here, unlike last time, we're not going to really pay too much attention to it. We don't need it all the way until summer, so we're basically going to be able to ignore it. And what's probably going to happen is we'll end up with a bunch of it sort of around anyway during winter, so it should be easy enough for us to get. And I did see one of those eye birds back there, which is an important source of resources if you don't have better sources of meat, along with all of these rocks. So somewhere around here might be a good good place to set up camp. We might also find, who knows what we'll find if we follow this road. Sometimes they're quite good. Chester, good. Alright. Looks like the rain is dying down, that's good. Our sanity's doing pretty much okay. I still want to make sure that I'm picking up flowers though. Alright. I saw a koalefant trunk or track there. We're not going to pick it yet. We don't need to follow that just yet. Okay. Now, we're on day 2, and we've explored quite a lot of the map. We haven't found very many resources, so we might extend this scouting from like day 5. We might build our base on something like day 6 or something like that if we can't find a good place. Or even day 7. I find that it's possible for me to start bases even later nowadays because like I've just practiced a lot, so I can get more done in a shorter period of time once I found a really efficient place. But if you can't find a great place and you take that long, you're just hoops. So don't take too long if you don't think that you're going to find somewhere better. There is a decent place here beside those eyebirds in that area, because hunting eyebirds is actually a pretty good way of getting meat in this current build of the game. Because it's harder to hunt koalefants now. Koalefants are like more rare, and half the time you get a Varg instead of a koalefant, which is a real dick move because now you can't really hunt from them that easily. But the eyebirds, for the most part, seem to be unchanged, so they're still a reliable source of meat now. So they're a good place to hang out. Okay. And there we go. Those moles seem to be really digging around there. Okay, night number 2, we're still going along. And let's just check to see how much of the map we've covered. As you can see, I've covered a pretty huge amount of the map so far already. We haven't gotten too distracted by things like I sometimes do, and this is going to let us sort of establish ourselves in a pretty good place since I have a lot of information. I already sort of see where some of the good things are. It's just that we haven't found that one key resource yet. We haven't found the beefalo herds, which I do think are quite essential to making a sort of good location for a base. But, you know, I have actually made beefalo-free bases before, so if we just absolutely can't find them, I might actually build a base on day 5 without them, just near where those good resources are. And that should be okay in its own way. I haven't seen very many boons either, come to think of it. Oops. Oh well. Okay. Technically I shouldn't be wearing this straw hat anymore. Okay, just 2 more. Should be day fairly soon, so we should be okay. Although, if I were looking more for boons, you don't necessarily find them near the edge of the map anyway, so quite often you'll want to be looking more sort of in the center of the little islands here, instead of along the edges. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make ourselves a garland. We're at cap sanity right now, but I don't really care, because I gotta do something with all those flowers I've been picking. Okay, there we go. I still don't really kill those turkeys. They theoretically could be used as a good source of meat, but like I just don't do it. It used to be that I think they added them in originally just so that people wouldn't do nothing but harvest berries, because like the turkeys sort of gobble up all those berries really quickly, but I think that they sort of haven't been paying too much attention to that because berry farms just aren't really that efficient anymore. Oh look, it's a Varg track. I bet it's a Varg track. They need to add some like way to disambiguate between whether you've got a Varg or if you've got an actual Qualiphant, because just too many freaking Vargs. Yeah, so here we got the Ibird. There's only one in this section, so it's not exactly the best place. Typically, if I wanted to settle down somewhere so that I could harvest Ibirds, I'd want somewhere that had 2, but the one there would not be bad. He's trying to kill Chester, however, but you know what? Chester, you probably did something to deserve it, you asshole. Alright, so day 3, still no still no beefalo, rather. Alright. Another rock area. Okay, if this place has Ibirds, this might be a viable way for us to do things, is to ignore farming and just really go for a meat strategy. Doesn't look like it, though. There is also a walrus camp there, which makes it really dangerous to hunt there, since they kind of are better hunters than I am, because I'm bad at fighting. Let's see here. This looks promising, though, this area here. In terms of... Nope. Okay, this definitely doesn't have beefalo. Okay, well... all our expectations have been betrayed, Chester. I was about to call him Fester. He's not my uncle. Anyway. Running along like this is sort of going to be a thing here. It's got one little frog pond that's not too bad. Oh, look, it's another track. I've been seeing a lot of tracks in this playthrough, but I don't have the time nor the inclination to go for them right now. Okay. We haven't seen any boons, and we haven't really seen any sort of those set pieces that you sometimes see that are usually interesting to see on the map, but that's okay. We don't actually need them. It's just peculiar. Like, we didn't see a gigantic wall palisade thing surrounded by gunpowder or anything like that. Or a mysterious fridge in the middle of nowhere that fails to start winter like it's supposed to. Okay, spider nest there. It's going to be important to note that as well. I think that they have actually somewhat reduced the number of spider nests that grow outside of like random spider biomes, or like specifically dedicated spider biomes, I guess I mean. So, a little bit less likely that we're going to have to worry about those. Another walrus camp. Pretty close together. If I were better at hunting walrus, that would actually be a really good thing. But as it is, like, I'm always trying to get their freaking hat from them, and they never drop their hat for me. It's like they don't want me to have a nice hat. Okay. Still hear nothing of the beefalo. Silence of the beefalo. Very disturbing. I've never actually encountered a map where there absolutely were no beefalo on it. I have seen ones where like the beefalo were in such an obtuse place that it took me a very long time to find them. Like sometimes I had to teleport to get to them, but I've never seen one where they just outright didn't exist. Okay, so there's another one of these bird things. I might show you how to use those guys as a primary food source this particular guide playthrough, which isn't necessarily going to be very indicative necessarily of, say, an autumn start playthrough, but it is indicative of a way to play this game that I haven't really showed you before. So I'm going to want to make sure that I can find, I think, well actually no, 2 is enough to live this way. Combination of their egg and their meats, their delicious meats, is enough to live. But you do have to carefully use crock pots, and I will need to go get bees. There is a third one. Okay. If there's a fourth one, this would be even better. Okay, we're going to continue exploring, though. We'll keep that in mind. The fact that we could start up that kind of base is going to be in the back of our heads here. During this time of year, I don't cut down really any of those mines where you can get the niter until I need gunpowder if I can't find Glommer, whatever. Because like I don't really need it for anything in this particular time of the year. You just basically need it for the endothermic fire mostly. And maybe to kill the bearger if he starts showing up, although he probably won't. We might get the deer clops, although I haven't really ever seen deer clopses. Deer clopses for me are extremely rare. They might have increased the even now though they're pretty rare for me, so I don't know. But yeah, they're supposed to definitely be quite common compared to a lot of these things. Okay, can we find anything useful? Not really. Wait, how do I... Okay, there's another land section over there. I might have missed a bridge, so I'm going to go check it. Just a quick skip up north. No, I did not. Okay, so we need to find out how to get to that island, because that might have all the things that we're missing over there. Like the Pig King, of course, and of all the other things that we might want. There's a graveyard over there. I can see the wisps of... yeah, there it is. Ah, easy, okay. So we're not going to obviously dig up any of the graves yet. We'll dig them up if we absolutely can't find the maxwell biome, because we do need a gear. In fact, we want several gears, but we do need at least one gear. Day 3 scouting, and that actually ends pretty quickly. Alright. That's fine. Oh, road over here. I might actually need another torch, so I'm going to stop and make that. I wasn't sure if 51% on the other one was quite enough. Alright. Running through the night. Okay. Despite that road being there, I'm still going to stick right here, because I do... Oh, there's maxwell biome down here. Are there gear guys here? Anyone angry here? Anyone object to me being here? No. Shit. Well, another source of marble, I guess, but not too worried about marble exactly. I don't really use it for very many things. Oh yeah, no, our other torch would have been plenty. We didn't need to make a new one. Oh well. It's not like we won't end up using it. Okay. So, we've managed to get quite a lot of the map now, as you can see, and everything's sort of really taking form here. We still haven't checked out anything past these desert areas, but it looks like there's desert past it, so it looks like it's just a very large desert area, which won't be very healthy for us to be in. I'm going to mine up this gold because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to come down here again anytime soon. There we go. Oh, there's a boon. It's a really shitty one again. I already got a stick boon. What is this? Oh, well, might as well take them. It's a little bit faster than getting sticks the normal way, but that's still probably the lamest of the things. Alright, I'm going to actually start mining up gold pretty much where I can get it, at least until this pickaxe breaks. Just because I don't plan on coming up here very often. Okay, still no beefalos. If knowing my luck, the beefalo are literally just going to be behind the desert somehow. And it's just going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like, everything sucks. But, you know, stay positive until then, I guess. Maybe. I'm actually a fairly pessimistic person in certain respects, but it's hard to actually get me down about it. Okay. Sanity, doing fine. Hunger, health, fine. Okay, we're doing good, so that's all well and okay. I could have picked up those eggs, but I didn't really have anything to fight with at the time, so I'm just gonna leave that one there. Oh, look, another plug. Okay. So caves are a resource. Do try and keep in mind where they are whenever you can. The thing is, I'd have to make another pickaxe after I broke one of these rocks, so there's a little bit less point in me breaking one of them open right now. Okay, so we finally got some clockwork dudes. Yes. Okay, so there's like one clockwork knight here. That's useful to actually take note of, and we might actually... What am I hearing? There's some sort of... I hear something, I don't know what. Okay, we might be able to lure them into some frogs, but I don't think there's any frogs that I see here, so... Okay, well, this has a lot of potential to suck. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Oh, there's the frogs. Okay, we're gonna lure him towards those. Nope, they aren't gonna go for it. Okay. There we go. Ouch. It's hard to tell when he's gonna neigh. This is not the easiest of fights. The only thing is this guy's so far away from anything that I don't want to go all the way back here. Ouch, damn it. I'm getting some lag here too. Okay, I should have gone in there. Ow, damn it. Okay, I have to go heal up a bit, so let's eat some carrots. Come on. I hate these things so much. Their ability to like just jump away at exactly after they do that attack is so annoying. Okay, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. And that took basically all day, but whatever. I don't have to go back here again. Perfect. Alright, so I'm not actually concerned that I lost a lot of my health there, because there's nothing really else that I'm going to be doing that's going to be costing me health for a little while. That is, unless the hound wave happens relatively soon, but, you know, that's a risk we always have to take. Alright, so we're also going to start popping flowers because we might as well to just get that healing, and because our sanity's not quite capped. So 2 flowers, pretty much going to be enough. That'll be fine for now. We're up to 37 health, that's fine. Okay, so this is the area that we're going to find Glommer, probably. And once we found that, we should be a little bit okay, I guess. Let's see, actually, we might find the beefalo up here. Another stick boon. This is the worst boons. Yeah, here they are. Okay, so we're going to grab up as much manure as we can. We're going to check to see where they are in relationship to everything. This is really, really far from anything useful. It's not exactly going to be the greatest spot, so this is one of those times where it is potential that I'm not going to actually start up my base near the beefalo herds, but I mean, sometimes you just don't have a choice about it. And there doesn't seem to be a very big herd either. That's a pretty small amount of them. Following through this way, we find even more biomes, so we're going to have to keep exploring through here, which is a little bit odd. Map this large. Alright. Looks like there's a juke on the road here to the right, too. Vast expanses indeed. Okay, so what the hell is over there? Alright, just about nighttime. Flip out our torch, that's fine. Actually, let's give Chester these rocks, and let's take this other torch here. Good. Alright, we could stop and make a fire and cook our food, which would help us heal up faster. But I don't particularly feel as though I want to, because I'm lazy. And because we are fairly behind on this, this map has been holding out an awful lot of good resources for us for a really quite long time, which has made it a little bit more difficult for me to get on track here. Alright, so that was both of those torches. That's fine. This one should be able to get us through the rest of the night. Pigmen here, okay. It's not a village, it doesn't look like, so it's not that useful. Couldn't use it as a replenishable source of food like we could with other playthroughs. Although, again, because of that kiting behavior, I'm just really bad at compensating for that kiting sort of nonsense that they do. Alright. And we could definitely do some flowers as well. Our sanity's starting to drop a little bit. Okay, I think that is just about the entire map. Nope, crap, there's another left-hand little jog on the road here. This is fairly ridiculous, actually, how spread out this particular map is. Okay, well, might as well give this a quick check. We're on day 5. Like I said, if we do find some resources and don't have a great place to set up, it might be better for us to spend another day exploring. Just ignore these guys. They're probably going to ignore us. Yeah. Okay, so we don't want anything to do with that. That is quite literally not anything we want to have any sort of dealing with. Let them go about their own business, and they'll let you go about your own business, and everything is just going to be fine. Just pretend you didn't see anything. Okay. And that should bring us back up to full sanity and be a bit of a good thing for our health. Okay, so the only thing here is like an entire circle jerk of tree men, which is not strictly speaking useful to us. Oh, there's a bit of a pig village here. Not enough that they're worth sort of harvesting for their delicious bacon. There's only 2 of them here. Okay, so this is definitely not the best place to be. Might have to go here for spiders, though. Okay. Yeah, carrots, probably a good idea to pick these up since I'm injured. There are pigmen here, enough that they're worth harvesting actually, but the problem is that they're so spread out. Actually, no, there's 3 around here, so I could use this as another source of food. It's not my favorite since I'd have to fight a lot, but that is the way it is. Okay. A lot of graves around here. Okay, and we're just about at the point where I'm about ready to set up a base. So, once again, I think that we've looked for pretty much everything that we need to look for here. This is an ambush. I don't want to do anything with that, so let's leave him alone. But yeah, we've pretty much found and scouted out most of the resources that we'll need. I'll take a look at sort of how things are going and then maybe make a final decision on where to make a base. But for now, this is our new guide series about Don't Starve, Reign of Giants. We're in autumn. We've got some extra considerations that we have to make. But during the scouting phase, as you can see, it was very, very similar to scouting out the map in default Don't Starve without any sort of other additional wonkiness. Is there literally like 2 beefalo on my entire damn map? 3 beefalo, whatever. This is the smallest amount I've ever seen. Like, this might actually be it. This might be all I have. So I'll definitely have to harbor them carefully if that is true. There might be another larger herd somewhere else. We'll keep an eye out for it. But if that is definitely the case, I'm actually going to probably make my base way the hell up here. And the reason for that is it's just a much more reliable source of food to hunt these bird nests and pillage them than it is to sort of take on what we've got going here. Now the problem with that is that it's way far away, so when the full moon comes, it'll take me a long time to get down here, which is where I need to go to get, of course, Glommer, who's an important asset thingy. Although I haven't actually found his little statue down here yet, so who knows, maybe his statue isn't down here either, and I have to explore even more. Amount of... oh, son of a bitch. Is that a... that's a bee projector. That's a bee projector. I hate those things. Oh man, I hate those things so much. Okay, well, we're going to definitely ignore going past there. It's even worse than going through the desert, in all honesty. Oh, can we slip through there? No, there's another bee projector there. Great. Yeah, I guess I'll do a quick sweep of this area, and then we'll call it a video. Ah, a bit of a road here. This should help. Nope, because it leads right out of the biome. I think I've been feeling like, I can't confirm this, but I still feel as though the maps keep getting a little bit bigger. Because I think the way that it's been working is that they've been adding in new content and it has to go somewhere. But the game hasn't been letting the map reduce the amount of other things that are there. So like they can't reduce the number of planes that are in there because they need to make sure that there's enough that the beefalo will spawn in one of them. And they need enough forests so that they'll have one with like the pig king in it. And they need enough swamp, so they need to include, like, keep in all of those things that they have. They can't take them out, so what you end up having is, like, the situation where you've just got a huge, huge number of these different biomes that have been increasing the size of the map a little bit, is my sneaking suspicion here. And, you know, might be wrong. That might not actually be what's happening here, but I get the feeling that that is what's happening here, and things have just been gradually getting larger and larger. Okay, so now we know where Glommer is, where his statue is, Glommer statue, which is pretty much the last thing we really need to know. It's really far away from where I think I'm going to go establish my base, but at any rate, I hope you found this enjoyable, and welcome back to the guide series to Don't Starve. Think of it as the second semester or something. But anyway, I hope you found this informative, and as always, I hope to see you all next time.